Oh, hello. This is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to pretend that you are in my cooking class. I'm going to take you in cooking this dish through its entirety. As in the case in my cooking classes, my students are the ones who actually do the cooking. I'm there to provide them with guidance. Of course, we cannot do that through the video. So I'm going to go through the process and you can replicate it later on. Since my YouTube channel is to promote home cooking, therefore I should do all the home cooking as I would normally do. In this dish, I'm going to cook a chicken with lama bean, sweet corn, and tomatoes. As my goal is to promote template-based cooking, so I will always cook with variations. For example, I have never cooked this particular dish before. One of the primary reasons that I cook this dish is because I have some lama bean on hand and I would like to use it up. So okay, let's get going. So the first thing you're going to do is that you're going to take some chicken out of the freezer and thaw them out. You've already cut the chicken in thin slices and you freeze them in about 8 ounces per package. By putting them in a bowl of warm water, you will be able to thaw them out in about 10 minutes. The next thing you're going to do is that you're going to take some frozen corn from the freezer. Since you have some lama bean left over from the last dish that you cook, so you have some available. You're going to use about 1 cup of corn and 1 cup of lama bean. And now you have a nice vegetable garden, so you brought in some tomatoes. So you're going to slice up tomatoes. Actually, you're going to dice them. You take out your ceramic knife because that's the best knife for cutting tomatoes. You find it is a pleasure to cut through the tomatoes just like you cut through butter. The next thing you want to do is to make a cornstarch suspension for you to thicken the sauce. So you take some cornstarch and you put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of water in a jar. Okay, you have almost everything ready for you to start cooking. You need to first check whether the chicken has thawed or not. So you went over the sink and look at it and you saw that the chicken has already been thawed. And next you want to remove as much fluid as possible from the chicken by putting them in a strainer and then you hit them against a piece of towel. Okay, now you have everything ready. You are going to cook. You're going to cook in your 14-inch cuisine stainless steel wok. So the first thing you're going to do is to spot season the wok. You want to make sure the wok has a non-stick surface. You use my spot seasoning method. You let the oil to smoke for about 15 seconds to season the wok. After the wok has been seasoned, I'm going to have you to turn the heat to low. You then add the chicken to the wok. You're going to stir fry for about 5 seconds and you turn the heat back to high. As you can see, the chicken cooked very quickly. In about 20 to 25 seconds, the chicken looked about half cooked. And now this is time for you to add the corn and you stir fry it for just a few seconds. Immediately after that, you add the lama bean. You realize that neither the corn or the lama bean has to be thawed completely because you're going to thaw them while you are cooking them. At this point, you're going to stir fry all the contents for about 30 seconds. I'm then going to ask you to put in about 1 tablespoon of garlic. By adding the garlic at this point of the cooking, the flavor of the garlic will be more intense. I'm going to have you to stir fry for another 30 seconds. By this time, both the corn and the lama bean are pretty well thawed and heated up. At this point, I'm going to have you do a taste test. The taste testing is important at this juncture because it allows you to have a reference point of what the taste is like before you add any seasonings. Of course, there's many ways you can season this dish. But for this particular purpose, I'm going to ask you to season it in such a way that will enhance the natural flavor of the dish. In this case, I'm going to ask you to use my basic seasoning mix. You can take a look at this video and to find out all the ingredients that I have in this basic seasoning mix. And now if this is the first time you're doing a cooking class with me, what I'm going to have you to do is to put a little bit of that seasoning mix on your palm and then taste it and to find out what it tastes like. This will give you some idea how much you want to put into the dish. I told you that you can now go ahead and add whatever amount that you think it might taste good. I told you don't worry because we can make adjustment later on. You then stir fry the contents for about 10 seconds to mix up the seasoning with the ingredients in the wok. I then asked you to give another taste. Then you decided you would like to add some more. Next, after you stirring briefly, I asked you now you should add in the tomatoes. The reason we add the tomato last because tomato cooks very quickly. If you want to maintain the texture of the tomato, we should add it at the end. After you add the tomato, you stir fry the content for about 15 seconds. The tomato adds flavor to the dish, so you do another taste test to make sure everything as you expected. You decided that everything tastes great. So the next thing we're going to do is to make the sauce by adding the cornstarch suspension. The cornstarch will make a very nice gravy and it will go very well with rice. After mixing the cornstarch with the ingredients, you decided that the sauce may be a little bit too thick, and you can make easy adjustments by adding some more water. After mixing all the contents together, you decided that now the consistency of the sauce is exactly how you like it. And now you did your final taste test and you decided that the flavor is exactly how you like it. So now the dish is done and you transferred it to a serving plate. Okay, the total cook time of this dish is about 5.5 minutes. You spend about 50 minutes to prepare, get ready to cook this dish. So to cook this dish from the time you walk in the kitchen to the time when this dish is served on the table is less than 20 minutes. I really like this dish. This dish is particularly good for children because of the gravy allow you to mix the ingredients with the rice. Since all the ingredients are relatively small in size, so they all blend together and it goes well. This in many ways is a perfect one dish meal. Furthermore, you can season the dish in many different ways to suit your personal preference. This is a demonstration of my fast cooking system. Now, stir frying is excellent for creating dishes like this because this is the only way of cooking that you can combine many ingredients together and cook them in a sequential manner. This not only allows you to blend ingredients together, but it also saves time. The other important attribute of my fast cooking system is flavor chasing. In this cooking exercise, you can see that we adjust the flavor multiple times while we cook. And the third attribute of my fast cooking system is advanced prepping. By having the chicken prep in advance and also other ingredients that you already on hand, it makes cooking much simpler. Last of my fast cooking system is template-based cooking. This can be considered as a template and you can modify it in many different ways. You can change the ingredients, you can change the flavoring, you can change many different aspects, including how you cut and fashion the ingredients. So you have to been to another class of my cooking school. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below. That will help me to expand my audience. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to receive notification of my future video postings. Thank you for watching.